I'm out. I'm out of the mud. I was going to be there forever. What, honestly, I like sometimes when things like this happen, and people just, show acts of kindness. It really does put your faith back in humanity, doesn't it? Like I said before, I'm going to try and stitch these videos together, but I don't know how to. I'm rubbish with all that, so it might be one after the other, part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it's come to. But like I said before, the RAC guy, Matthew, he, as he walked in, he said, technically, you're not insured. I went, oh, really? Oh. And he said, but come on, we'll see if we can get you sorted out. But as soon as he turned up in that little transit van, I knew there was no way he was getting me out. So then I was thinking about maybe a tool hire shop and hiring a digger, like a 7-tonner or something, and just saying, can you come out for an hour and pull us out with your machine? But then I thought, well, we'll phone a farm. I've said this before, but again, so the guy, the farmer guy, Kevin, he came out with his tractor, and he just said, yeah, no hassle, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'm on my way. And and he sounded a bit tired on phone, if I'm being honest. Anyway, and sure enough, within 10 minutes, he was here with his tractor. First job, he pulled out the little transit van. It was probably like dragging a packet of peanuts, that big tractor. And then we got me hooked up, and I was worried at first, thinking, oh please, but no hassle. Just pulled it straight out at mud, and that's me on the terra firma now, back on the tarmac, and I says to him, I said, that's brilliant, mate. Thanks ever so much, yada yada, all that carry on. And then I said, how much do I owe you? He said, oh, whatever, I'm not bothered. I said, I've no cash on me now. I said, but I've got my card. I said, he said, well, you know where I am. So anyway, I'm going to put 100 quid in an envelope. And I did ask him if he likes a dram. And he weren't bothered. I was going to get him a nice single malt, something like that. And then he says to me, and he were ever such a nice bloke, he had a lovely smile. He says, the thing is, he says, I'm not well. He said, I've not been eating for the last 3 or 4 days. And he said, when you rang, I'd only just gone back to bed. And he's poorly as well. Isn't it nice, that? Isn't it nice that somebody would just do that? Doesn't know me from Adam or Eve. And he just said, I'm going to get, even though I'm poorly, he's not eating for 3 or 4 days. And he'd looked a bit pasty, to be honest. I just thought he was like an old grey, people go kind of grey in the face that way when they get a bit older. And that was it. So he was in his bed poorly. He got this phone call, somebody in distress, and just came and done it. And like, you half expect somebody turning up saying, right, money up front, come on, pay me first, blah, blah, blah. But we're none of that. None of that. Brilliant. Brilliant, you see? There is good in the world. Come on, I'll show you the mess I've made. I wasn't sure whether to make it good. The mess I've made. It's a bloody door. I wasn't sure whether to make it good. But then I spoke to we were saying, well, it might be an idea to leave it. Because if anybody else turns up, because when we were sorting this out, there was a camper van with 2 ladies came. And maybe, they'll have parked in this field before we look at it. Now we've made such a mess, I think that'll put people off coming in here. Because I wouldn't like anybody else to get stuck, same as I was. Because, yeah, to be honest, like, down this lane last night, there were loads of, like, young lads in cars and that. And there was a lot of shouting going on a little bit further up the lane. And then there was a cluster of cars here last night. And it was about 11 o'clock. And, I felt a little bit intimidated. I don't know if you can see, there's a slope going down. So I've backed in there, where I've been before. I stayed here for 3 nights, just a couple of months ago. And it's, essentially it's ever such a nice spot. But yeah, what a mess. What a mess it's made. But I think I'm just going to leave it just to put anybody else off doing the same as me. At least it'll be an obvious indicator. I don't want to leave it messy though. Oh, I think I'm going to spend a bit of time just filling some of these holes in. I've got a shovel. I'm not going to be, you know, a messy person about it, because it has made quite a scar. Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I'll go and have myself a celebration coffee now and a wee cigarette. I won't be doing that again. Like I said, I was parked here the night before. I was parked right here, you see, so I'm awfully close to that. But I was like in the way, you see, and people were having to walk past these nettles and things with the dogs. So I felt a bit conscientious of that. And I had half a mind just to be parked in there tight and then just use my passenger's door, you know. But then I thought, oh no, I'll go down there, and then down there, then I'm out of the way like I was last time. Best laid, what is that how you say it? Best laid plans laid waste, is it? Something like that. Something like that. Crikey. But it's ever so nice here. You know, considering I'm very, very close to the people and lots of things. You know, completely different to where I live in the Highlands, of course. And there it is. The battle bus, my grandchildren call it. Granddad's battle bus. I know. But I need to get to the bottom of that thing. Because I know it's a 4-wheel drive. But like I say, it was only that wheel that was spinning. And then last week, I got stuck in Tummel. And it was both wheels, both wheels on the driver's side. Both wheels on the driver's side were in the mud. And both of those wheels were spinning. But the ones that were on the tarmac, they weren't spinning. And you're thinking, well, they're the ones that should be spinning because they've got grip. Why is the ones that have not got grip spinning, and the ones that have got grip are not spinning? So I'm going to see if I can switch that off and have it in 4-wheel drive or something. There must be something, because it's just bloody stupid. You know what I mean? And I watched it yesterday. And came back and got it all mucky. Yeah, you can see where that wheel's been spinning a little bit. But it was essentially, the whole time I was trying to dig it out by myself, it was one back wheel spinning. So there you go. I'm mucky. I'm hungry. I'm soaking wet. And I'm rather cold. Praise the Lord, eh? This is the tapestry of life. Right. I'm liberated. God bless each and every one of you. And I shall... I'll make another video soon when I get back to Tummel. I've got just about everything for the conversion. I've only got maybe another 2,000 to spend, and then that's it. Just got to buy a diesel heater. They're not expensive. I'm going to double up on my batteries. At the moment I've got 600 amp hours, so I'm going to get 1200 amp hours and all the bits and bobs that you need to make it so it charges up while you're driving, etc. Then I think it's just like cosmetic stuff after that. Well, I've got a hot water heater to buy, but again, they're not expensive. I've got most of the wood for the refit. I've got a really cool idea of how I'm going to make the interior look. What I do is for some of my artwork, I burn wood. I burn it. And then what happens is the soft wood in between the grain burns quicker, and you get this lovely corrugated effect. So that's what we're going for. I've had the wood cut off my friend at the sawmill, Bob. That's all stacked up, racked up, ready to rock and roll. I've got sheets and sheets of plywood for my walls. I just need to think about what I'm going to do for the inside of the shower. Whether to sort of like make my own tiles. I fancy the idea of making my own tiles and using that burnt wood idea, but leaving it sort of black, you know, that might look cool. Or while I'm here in Englandshire, and you've got lots and lots of places you can go and look at shopping things, nip into like a B&Q or something like that and have a look at nice wall panels for inside the shower. So yeah, I'm not really got a lot more money to spend. I've got all the paint for the outside. Yeah, but the only trouble with that is I either have to do it indoors, or make sure that there's going to be no rain for 3 days. And also, I think it depends on the temperature. I think if it's, like around to like 1 or 0 degrees, then I don't think you can do it. So I'll have to read the tin. And those blokes aren't very good at reading instructions, are we? But no, we'll have to do that. So if it's a case of having to wait, I'll wait. I'm not really fussed. So yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of money to spend, and then after that, it's all cosmetics. Because basically, I'm making all the furniture. I'm making the kit. Oh yeah, then of course there's a fridge and a cooker to buy. So yeah. So like I say, probably about £2,000-3,000 to spend. Anyway, it's all part of the journey, isn't it? Right, that's me. I'm done. I'm gonna go and go to my mum's now, get a shower, get some laundry done, and get her to make me a cheese sandwich. Right, God bless each and every one of you. Bye.